you know, when you said that a woman doesn't want her man, well, her greatest problem with her husband marrying another wife is obviously he will have to provide for the family, and that will lower her provisions, right?
Yep.
But I think maybe if her man is like a low income earner, that might be a big problem for her. But I think, in my opinion, as a female, I think the biggest reason I would be sort of hesitant or not want it at all is that just the idea that my man is in love with another woman, you know, or that he's saying the things that he says to me to her. Right?
Are you married?
No.
Have you been married before?
Nope.
Okay. So firstly and foremostly, most men are average income earners, and average is low. Most people on the planet, especially in the Western world, don't have more than 2 months worth of savings to see them by if they were to lose their job tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that statement, that blanket statement that I made, applies to most men. So if the average everyday man is going to marry again, he is going to compromise the financial stability of his first household. There's no doubt about this. Now, I understand what you're saying, that, you know, the idea of your man loving another man, loving another woman is problematic. I get that. And I'm not saying that's not a thing, but I am saying the existential fear. The big issue here is my security compromised? Am I safe? Am I going to be put at risk right now? Because there are bigger things than love, Hannah. There are more important things, like, am I going to have a roof over my head next month if my man goes and marries someone else? Do you understand?
Do you know what but you know, the way I would see it would be, how could he even want a second wife if he's an average earner and he's going to put, you know, I'll be honest, I'd be like, what do you mean you want a second wife? Like, you don't even earn that much.
Yep. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Your husband, in this hypothetical scenario, is extremely above average earner. Let's put a number on it. He earns 3 times as much as is required to take care of you and your children. So there is a great surplus of wealth. Okay, he takes care of you, he takes care of your kids, and he has 3 times more to spare as well. Would you have as much of an issue with him marrying again? Or would you be more inclined towards at least being facilitating in that regard?
I would have to say that I would still have an issue, but the issue would now be different. It would be, oh, he's going to love someone and he's going to sleep with her and he's going to tell her all the sweet things he's going to tell me, you know? It becomes like a competition, and I don't want to compete. If I have a high value man, let's say, or a man that I really think he's amazing and blah, 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 what would make me like the most, like the happiest, would be that he only wants me and he's not going to be with anyone else, you know?
But you have to understand, Hannah, a man like that, you're not going to have him to yourself. He is going to be shared. And the reason why is simple. What you possess, I'm assuming you're young. You sound young to me. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Right. So what you possess, you're in the flower of your youth and beauty. That's common. What he possesses, a surplus of wealth, a great abundance of wealth, is rare. Therefore, the one who is rare is the one who is more coveted, more desired. So that's okay. You don't have to tolerate him sharing. The door is always open. You are always welcome to leave. He doesn't, in this hypothetical example, you don't have to stay. You can leave if it bothers you to that point. But then the question you must ask yourself, Hannah, is, if I leave, will I find something better than him? What do you think?
Well, if I was in that hypothetical situation, and let's say my husband was Khabib, right? And he said, oh, I'm going to marry another woman. And if you're not happy with it, that's it, we're over.
Did you say Khabib? Huh?
Khabib. Yeah, like, let's give it a face. And he said, if you're not happy with it, we're over. I'll be like, okay, fine. You can do it.
So let me get this straight. So you'd let Khabib go, and then what?
No. If he said to me, you have to be okay with it, or that's it, we're done, then I'd be like, okay, fine, you can go marry a second wife. I'll be okay with it.
Okay. I mean, that statement there, you can go, he doesn't need your permission right off the rip. I mean, no, even an average man doesn't need your permission. But I understand what you're saying, that when a man is average, and gentlemen, pay attention, I talk about this on my channel all the time. When you are average, women have less tolerance for your BS in general. But you want to go get married again? Brother, don't do that. You got kids as well, like you got a family unit, don't do it. If you're average, don't do it. But yes, women have a greater tolerance for above average men. And when brothers quote examples of men throughout history who have gotten married again, what they fail to recognize is they tend to pick out examples of, even in the Muslim history, men who are very successful. Sulaiman alayhi salam was a king. Dawood alayhi salam. You know, yes, these men always had many women because they are rare. Any other questions you have, Hannah?
I want to say that I agree. Like, most men are average, and I'm not, you know, I'm not better than to marry an average man, you know. But I would say, if you're an average man, honestly, from a female's perspective, if you are like coming to your, if you're coming to your wife and saying, oh, I want to have a second wife, and you don't really earn that much, I don't think it's worth like the amount of like respect you're going to lose in her eyes, you know.
How do you mean? Explain to me what you mean.
Because in her mind, it's like, you don't earn that much, and then now you're coming to me and you want another wife instead of putting that energy into like earning more, let's say.
Yeah, 100. I know. I can't disagree with you there.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Shukran, Hannah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, thank you. Walaikum salam.
Gentlemen, I talk about this all the time. I've got a video on my YouTube channel. I think the title of it is "You Don't Deserve a Second Wife," or "You Don't Deserve Another Wife," something like that. And most men should knock off this polygyny stuff. Knock it off. Most men. Because you don't qualify in the first place. You don't qualify in the first place. And you run the risk. And remember, what's the most important thing for me when I do all this content is what? Maintaining the nuclear household. Keeping mom and dad together so that the children can be raised in a wholesome environment. Kids do best when they are raised with mom and dad. What is the point in continuing to build, i.e. get another wife, if the first building that you built, i.e. your first wife and your children there, crumbles? What's the point? That's what I did. I tried to build again whilst the first building wasn't even finished yet, wasn't even taken care of properly. What happened? The building crumbled. Kids raised now in a broken home. Kids exposed to the elements of being raised in a broken home. This is a serious problem. Serious problem.